Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. Jacalyn. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. Jacalyn at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another fabulous week here at USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. Jacalyn KERBECK, and our show today is Secrets to Timeless Beauty. And here to join us from Dubai and share her wisdom, her knowledge, her experience, let us welcome Katrina Valente.
Hi, good evening.
Hi.
Morning.
Hi, so nice to see you, pretty and green.
Thank you. How are you?
I am doing very well, thank you, and I'm excited to see you. And I know that you are about to start traveling again. And I know it's very hot where you are in Dubai, and it's summertime. And of course, it's summertime here as well. And certain places in the world, I think Australia, New Zealand, is winter time. So why don't we start off by spotlighting you, Katrina, and sharing with our audience who's joined us for the first time what it is that you do and how you help people.
Hi, well, okay, for the viewers that haven't seen me, I am a holistic esthetician for 28 years. I've traveled the world as an international visiting practitioner, and I offer facials, different kinds of massage, lymphatic drainage, energy clearing, and tarot reading.
Wow, I know that's just the tip of it, though. You do a lot of other things, but we'll get into that in a minute. So, Katrina, your skin always looks so nice, glowing, that dewy look, fresh and healthy. Tell us what some of your secrets are, especially when there's hot weather like we have here where we are and where you are.
So you've got to keep your skin hydrated. I mean, I've always had a very strict beauty routine with home care creams, and I'll do a facial on myself most weeks. But vitamin C and vitamin A are very important to have in your skincare because they regenerate the skin, they tighten and firm, they get rid.
Well, it seems we may have lost Katrina for the moment. Let me put her backstage. Oh, you're back. Okay. We lost you after vitamin A and C, and it has to be in your skincare.
Yeah, it has to be in your skincare. And, you have to drink lots of water and, alcohol, smoking, that's things that age you very quickly. So as a woman, you should try and manage that, if you do like a drink and you do like we're having problems tonight. Are you there?
Yes, we're here. We're here. You froze up again, but that's okay. I think we understood the gist of what you were saying. So I understand that where you are in Dubai, people really get very dressed to go to the beach. So matching this and that, as opposed to just pulling out something from the drawer and going, I'll put on this t-shirt over my bathing suit and some flip-flops and let's hit it. So tell us about how people dress over there to go to the beach.
Look, I mean, there's a lot of beach clubs and Dubai is very glitzy and glamorous. So you will get a lot of women with their matching bathing suits, their matching sarongs, their throw over see-through things and their hats and their bags. So it's very she over here. Although, with the public beaches, people are a little bit more relaxed.
And are the public beaches similar to those in the States? I mean, are there parking meters where you pull up? Like, are there people there you can actually rent chairs from and umbrellas? How does that work?
Yeah, now there is. Now there's a place called Kite Beach, and that's got shops and stalls and restaurants and showers and beach beds and the whole shebang now, but it used to be very rustic.
Interesting. Well, I think uh, when it comes to sunbathing or going to the beach, I've always felt that there is sort of this dynamic of we need to get vitamin D, but we can't get too much vitamin D. And we love to be in nature, but we can't be out in the sun for too long. And we need to wear skincare, but our skin is a breathing organism, and all these things are going into our skin. It's very confusing to me.
Yeah. I mean, look, they say you should have 20 minutes of sun per day, and you shouldn't wear sunblock, and you shouldn't wear a hat or sunglasses, because vitamin D penetrates the eyes and it penetrates the top of the head and the skin. So if you're wearing a sunblock, it stops the vitamin D from metabolizing from the sun, apparently. But the morning sun, they say, is the best, as opposed to the afternoon, evening sun. So it's better that you go sunbathe early in the morning, and the rays aren't so strong either. And then it kind of sets you up for the day.
I know that I use an app on my phone for the weather, and it actually will show when the UV rays are the strongest. And it actually rates whether or not it's a good time for you to go out if you're looking to get some sun. So, to your point, it sounds like 20 minutes is something that we can do without being all covered up in a disguise with a hat and glasses and lathered in sunscreen. But then anything more than that, probably we need to put on sunscreen, correct?
Yeah, I would think so, yeah. I mean, there's a thing called sun gazing, and you're supposed to look at the sun, and the rays of the sun penetrate the eyes and give you all good stuff. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it has also got to do with the synthesis of vitamin D in the skin. But it's very important for us, vitamin D. I mean, most people in Dubai are actually deficient in it because we're never in the sun. Although it's sunny all the time, people work usually 6 days a week, and you don't go to your beach on your one day off, So, and we don't walk really in Dubai either. So hardly anybody's ever outside. So vitamin D deficiency is a big problem here.
That's really interesting. One of our team members is a researcher on longevity, and he speaks to the fact that there's actually a test that we can get ourselves, I believe, to test for vitamin D, because that's not necessarily that's included here in the States in the complete blood count workup that they do. So he also has talked about taking vitamin D as a supplement. So is that something that you do?
Absolutely, big time. I mean, I take it every day. Yeah, because especially as an older woman, it's a big problem when you're lacking vitamin D. It usually makes you feel very tired. It promotes a lot of things within the body, so it's really an important supplement. And most people here, we get the shot that gives you the big dosage, and then that sets you back on track. So yes, it's a very, very common supplement here that most people have to take.
Did you refer to yourself as an older woman?
I'm not 20 or 30 anymore. So
Well, I'm right there with you, but I don't think of myself as an older woman. I don't know why, but
no,
I
I
guess
mean, neither do I really. But especially menopause, vitamin D is a big problem. And you've got to really balance that. But we get blood tested for vitamin D here. It's a very common thing.
Hmm, interesting. Well, I know for me, especially during the pandemic, I really looked at what I'm eating and how much water I'm drinking. And I was taking a number of supplements, but then I was getting facial eczema and psoriasis, and I didn't know what was related to what. So I stopped everything. And now I don't take any supplements. And I actually have, You either. And I
Yeah.
actually have, no, I don't have to take my blood pressure medicine anymore. I check it every day. My blood pressure is perfect. So I really think it has to do with what I'm eating and how I'm living as opposed to how I was before.
Yeah, I mean, I also have been a big supplement junkie ever since I was in my 20s. And through menopause, I've been taking even more supplements. But I was tested with the bioenergetic machine lately, which tests all your inner organs and what supplements you need. And it was saying that I didn't need anything at the moment, except vitamin D and magnesium and a few other things. But so yeah, I've come off everything as well. I think your body does need a break. I think it's very hard on your liver when you take a lot of supplements all the time.
I do too, and I know many people who, uh, for years, they have bags of supplements. Like every meal, they're taking all these supplements, and I think to myself, how do you know what kind of reaction all these things are going to have together? So you might read one article where you need iron, another article where you need magnesium, and then you just go to your vitamin store, you pick them up, and you take them all together, and who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think it's important to be tested for supplements because you can overdose or you could be wasting your money taking things that your body doesn't need. So I'm having a break this summer.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up as well because the vitamins slash vitamins, they're expensive. All these, you could spend 30, $40 on something. And again, is it the, I don't know what the word is, but you can go look for vitamin C and you can find several different brands. One's much less expensive than the other. So how do you know which one to buy? Do you just buy the expensive one because it's more expensive? I don't think so.
A good tip is you should always have capsules, not tablets, because the tablets are sometimes very hard, so it's very difficult to digest. Capsules are much easier because they have the gelatin coating, and you can even break the gelatin and just take the powder out of them. So I never buy tablets, I always buy in capsules or oils.
Interesting. I didn't know anything about that. What about I was taking vitamin C for a while, which is a long time ago, but it was the wafers and they tasted really good. And when I looked to see the sugar content, I thought, oh, no wonder they added sugar. That's why they taste so good. But you would just chew them or those little, um, have you ever heard of this? I'm aging myself. Have you ever heard of a cartoon called the Flintstones?
Of course,
Okay.
yes.
And they would have the little Flintstone vitamins that you could take. I used to love them because they tasted so good.
Yeah. No, you have to really look at the ingredients, especially these effervescent vitamin C that you get. They're full of the saccharin and really bad things for the body. So yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
so we're talking today about our skin and also how to take care of it, especially in hot weather. Of course, in cold weather, it's another story. What about for people who are really excessive sweaters? And I don't mean a sweater you put on, but they perspire a lot. How does this impact the skin? Is this a good thing or not so good?
It's not so good. I was just actually with a client who sweats a lot, and they're getting eczema on the face, and it's because when you sweat a lot and the sweat dries, then it causes bacteria on the skin if you don't wash it off immediately. So sweating can be a problem, and you're also going to sweat out the creams that you put on in the morning. So yeah.
And Katrina, when we think about sweating, we could just be, I know you said you don't walk a lot in Dubai. I walk a lot. Yesterday, I walked 7 miles. And although I don't feel like I'm actually sweating, my hair would have like a smell of the outside. How often do you recommend that we wash our hair? Or does it depend on our hair type?
Yeah, I think it depends on your hair type. I mean, some people say you should wash your hair every day, others say once a week. I mean, it really depends on your hair type and the kind of hair texture you have, you know. I mean, I wash my hair twice a week. If I was to wash it every day, it would just be too soft. I mean, I just couldn't do it. So I think it really depends on what kind of hair you've got and what kind of lifestyle you have.
And when we think about our scalp is obviously a breathing organism, right? There's skin on top of our head. And I think sometimes people just forget about this, that also you see how my hair is today. I washed it this morning and then just pulled it all back. But if I were to wear my hair like this on a regular basis, I'm going to start to lose hair here and here from pulling it back. I found that over time. What are your thoughts about ways or hairstyles that we can use when we have hot weather and we're wearing our hair back, or we're wearing a cap or a hat?
Um, I mean, I think it's important what you use to tie your hair up. I mean, you know, back in the day, people used elastic bands, which were very bad because they broke off all the hair when you were trying to pull them out. So nowadays, they've got these bendy plastic things. I've usually got one on me. I don't have one at the moment. But they totally protect the hair, so you could pull it out and it doesn't pull any of the hair with it. You know, doing deep conditioning treatments once a week, once every few weeks. I mean, the longer your hair is, the more you have to look after it. So I've always done deep conditioning treatments and used expensive shampoo and conditioners. And, you know, depending on the quality of the water, it's very good to have a water filter on your shower head. That makes a big difference. I mean, living in Dubai, it's all desalinated water. So the first thing that happens to somebody that comes to live here is their hair starts getting thin. And it's because of the water. So water filters are a good option. They really can make a difference.
That's a great point. I remember when I used to travel in my corporate career, and certain places I would realize that my hair was really soft after I'd washed it, or it was more coarse. And I thought, oh, it's directly related to the water. By the way, we have a
Totally.
comment from someone. Hello, I'm in Bangladesh. Well, nice to have you with us. I'm sorry I don't know how to pronounce your name. But yes, I see you're writing hello. Hello. We're glad that you're here. Thank you. If you have any questions for Katrina or me, please go ahead and type it in there. Okay, so we're talking about the fact again that it's warmer weather and we're enjoying it. We want to just commune with nature. I absolutely love that. And I'm sorry that you can't go for walks. It's just so invigorating. And there are other things that we need to be aware of as well in terms of our skin. Tight clothing, or clothing that breathes, or clothing that actually has built-in sunscreen capacity. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, it's always good to wear light, uh, loose clothing when it's hot. I mean, it's a lot cooler. When you've got tight clothes on, especially if the fabric isn't conducive to hot weather, you can get very sweaty very quickly, and that is very uncomfortable. So
You know,
yeah, I mean, nowadays you are getting fabrics that are UV protection. I'm not sure if there's so much in mainstream yet. I mean, I know you can get bathing suits for children with the long sleeves that protect them from UV light, but I'm not so sure about in daily clothing.
well, I do have long sleeve shirts that have the SUV protection built in, and I haven't worn them yet this year, but I do wear my big hat and my glasses and long sleeves. And I was recently told that I look ridiculous. So I stopped. The next time I went out for a walk, I didn't even have a hat on, and I got completely burnt. My face got burned, my forehead is still peeling. And I thought, I don't care how stupid I look, I'm wearing it from now on.
No, I mean, I'm the same. I mean, I never put my face in the sun. I've always got big glasses, a hat. If I'm on the beach, I'll put a sarong literally over my face. So, but you know, the sun, UV gets to you. As long as you're outside, the UV hits off the pavement, it hits off the sand, the reflection off the water. There's really no getting away from it. I mean, I was recently in the Maldives and I was literally under an umbrella in the shade, and I fell asleep on my stomach and my back was completely red. I mean, I was sunburned and I was in the
Wow.
shade. Yeah. So, you know, you cannot get away from it if you're outside. You just have to try and do the necessary precautions to try and stop as much UV as you can.
These are all great points. We're going to take a break, and then I want to hear about your upcoming trip so you can let our audience know where you're going to be, what you're doing, and we'll just see where that leads to. How does that sound?
Great.
Okay, fantastic. Let's take a look at our sponsorships.
Tarot reading.
And if somebody wants to book in for this, can they, or is it not open to the public?
Well, I mean, yes, of course, it's a hotel. It's anybody that's in the hotel, outside of the hotel. I mean, it's a spa, you know, anybody can come. So yeah, we're in the town with one of the only hotels that are actually in Mykonos town. It's very beautiful. And so I'm always happy to go there in the summer. I always have a lovely time. The energy of the island is very special.
So how would you say your experience will be different than other places that you've gone and worked in a spa?
Because this one is in the town, so I can actually go out at night. I'm not on a desert island. You know, it's actually a big island, you know, a normal size island with many things to do. So yeah, it's a bit more normal life, you know, quite
Now,
relaxed.
when you're working, and I assume if they're fully booked at the spa, you're going to be very busy. How do you keep up your energy, and how do you keep yourself looking like you just started the day, even though you've been working for 9 or 10 hours?
I mean, I'm lucky, you know. I always kind of look okay. I mean, I eat well, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't really go to bed too late. I'm always, you know, if I'm tired, I just don't go out in the evening. I mean, I don't go out every evening. You know, you can maybe go for a walk around the shops or whatever. So I gauge myself, I listen to my body, and I always keep hydrated. I eat breakfast and lunch, I don't have dinner, so my body gets a rest with the intermittent fasting. And I always exercise wherever I travel to. So I'm lucky that I have the facilities, you know. So yeah, I try and keep as close to my normal routine as possible when I travel. And then wherever I am, I get into the routine there, and I just do the same things every day. And that kind of keeps you on track a bit, you know.
Yeah, I think you're very disciplined and structured, it sounds like, and you're doing intermittent fasting, as am I. I skip breakfast, so I eat lunch and dinner. So it's interesting you skip dinner. And
Yeah, I've been a dinner person. I don't like to eat too much at night. So I'd rather have breakfast and lunch. Sometimes I do skip breakfast and then I'll have lunch and dinner. But yeah, I'm not too big on eating. I don't feel I need a lot of food these days. So 2 meals a day is plenty for me, you know?
I was just having this conversation with someone about how when I was growing up, food was a big deal because it was all about the entertainment aspect of it. You know, we're going to sit down to a formal dinner, we're going out to dinner, and we're dining, we're here for hours. And now, because of my health conditions, I've been more focused on food as a tool for this container, this body to function at the highest level. And it's interesting how this mindset shift that I have has shifted my overall behavior. And what I mean by that is I used to have a very busy social life and I was going out to dinner all the time. And now I could care less about ever going out to dinner. I have no interest. I'd rather just eat at home. And it's just that food is not, it doesn't represent what it used to me.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'd rather do a lunch than a dinner. I don't like to eat at night. It doesn't make me feel good. So yeah, and I think the older you get, the less you want, the less you eat for some reason. I don't know why that is, but it seems to be the way things are.
Well, from people who are older, who I've, had in my life various times, I've noticed that there's a lot of discussion about when we're going to eat. When's the next meal? And then it's time for the next meal, but they don't necessarily eat that much. So I think it's sort of like something to look forward to. And
Mm.
that's what I was mentioning. That's how I used to feel, but I don't look at it like that anymore. I look at it as food is a gift. And if we pick the right foods to eat, our body's going to be receptive and thankful. And this way, like for me with ulcerative colitis, food has a major impact on my body. So I'm tired of being sick. So I had to make a decision, and it wasn't really that tough because to feel good is a blessing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's not about the quantity, it's the quality
Yes,
that's
for sure. Now, what type of food will you be eating when you're in Greece?
well, there's a lot of Greek salads. I mean, they've got most things on the menu. I eat in the hotel. So, fish. They're not too big on vegetables, the Greeks, I have to say. So I struggle with that a bit. But yeah, I always love the Greek yogurt, of course. And I'll have fruit in the morning. So yeah, I just kind of go around the menu. They do a nice quinoa salad if it's the same menu as last year,
Oh, I
and then
love that.
it's pasta now and again. And then they have Nobu restaurants, so I always get treated to a free dinner at Nobu while I'm there.
Oh,
So
how nice.
I do have dinner that night.
I like Nobu. I've been to the one out in Malibu, but that was a long time ago. So, what do you do for your workout routine when you're traveling? Do you have, like, for example, I have a TRX. I don't know if you know what that is. The bands.
Of course,
Yes,
yeah.
and some people have inflatable weights that you put water in. They're plastic. And what do you do? You actually have the
Well,
full gym.
yeah, I mean, I am lucky. The places I go do have not a full gym, but they've got enough that you can improvise to have a decent workout. And so, yeah, I just carry on as normal as possible. Obviously, there's not the range of machines, but you can improvise. And yeah, I try and rest when I first get there for at least 3 days, 4 days. Um, Plus the day that I travel there. So I kind of give myself a break, get into the routine, and then I'll start training again.
And is Greece a different time zone than where you are? I think it is.
It's only 2 hours different.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you've done this before, and staying at a beautiful resort is not a it's not a hardship in any way, right? Everything's there for you, which is really nice. So when you are traveling and you have jet lag, if you ever get it, what are some of the things that you do to compensate and feel better?
So I don't ever drink on a flight, ever, ever, ever. I mean, I'm not really a drinker anyway, so to drink alcohol on a flight is a killer. It's super dehydrating. So I work with Altera Bio Color Therapy, and they have an oil. It's a white oil, and it contains all the colors of the chakras in different essential oils. So what that does is it brings you back into the time zone. I inhale the perfumes, I use the oil on my body, so it brings you back into the time zone. But the places I go, there's only ever 2 or 3 hours difference, so it's not that bad.
And the airplane, inside the airplane, that is really dehydrating as well, the recirculated air, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so it's good to have one of the water sprays. You can put a collagen sheet mask on your skin. But I don't worry too much. I mean, the flights are anywhere from 4 to 6 hours. So I'll just, as soon as I get to the room, if not that night, the next day, I'll use some hydrating masks on my face.
All great tips. Thank you so much for sharing these. Now, what about people who are traveling further? They're on a plane for 12 plus hours. Any tips for them?
Yeah, I mean, they should move. They should get up out of their seat and move, because you get stuck. Your circulation isn't moving. It can cause thrombosis, which is very dangerous on a flight. There's some exercises that you can actually do sitting in your seat, and drink water every 20 minutes, they say, when you fly. I actually used to be a flight attendant in my 20s.
I
Did
love
you know
it.
that?
I did not know that. What was that experience like? Did you enjoy it?
I didn't really enjoy it, actually. I couldn't deal with the round the clock hours. You'd be getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning to do a 6 a.m. flight or whatever it was. And I had to drive 45 minutes, an hour to the airport. So it was a struggle. I didn't enjoy it. It was something I really wanted to do, but the actual reality was different from that. And I didn't get to do the long haul because they were desperately needing us, and we missed doing the long haul. So I was only doing Europe, and so I really wanted to do it, to travel, to see a bit of the world, but I only lasted one season. So it was an experience.
Was it isolating in any way, knowing that you couldn't? I guess I don't think that the flight attendants can use their phones, but I don't know, maybe they can. Back then, probably not.
Yeah, I mean, you could. Yeah, you could, but obviously not in front of the passengers. But I mean, back then, I mean, we're talking, what, 20, 30, 30 years ago? Yeah, nearly 30 years ago. So mobile phones weren't that a big deal back then, although we did have them, but they weren't used like they are today. So yeah.
Well, yeah, it's great that you had that experience so you could just check it off the list. Finished, no
Right.
longer interested. What
I
did you
mean,
do after that?
I stepped onto my beauty, and I started studying, and it took me 5 years until I was qualified in all the aesthetics, and started my own business, and then came to Dubai, and the rest is history.
So you started your business before you came to Dubai.
Yeah. I started sugaring, which is the Egyptian technique, the Arabic technique of hair removal. So you take a lump of paste, you spread it on the skin, and you flick it off with your hand. So you have the lump of, it's like treacle, and it's pliable. So this sticks to the hair, and you flick it off. So it's a little bit more gentle than waxing. And back then, nobody did it. So I was actually fully booked doing that one treatment. And then that treatment paid for all my other private tuition to learn how to be a beauty therapist. I did manicure, pedicure, facials, aromatherapy, massage, reflexology. So, and that's how I built my business step by step.
Oh, congratulations. How interesting. I've never heard of sugaring. I can't imagine that sugar and that it would get rid of the skin, but obviously it does.
Yeah, it boils up like caramel. It looks like caramel and it's very sticky. But you take a lump of it and then you spread it on the skin and you flick it off and it brings the hair out. So it's a lot more gentle than waxing.
Does it hurt?
Not as much as waxing does, but yeah, I mean, it depends on what kind of hair you have.
And that was the beginning, and the rest is history.
That was the beginning, yeah.
I love it. Well, I really want to have people reach out to you. If you can give them information of where you're going to be, where this property is, then maybe people can start booking in.
Sure. So I will be in Mykonos in the Belvedere Hotel from Friday the 15th of July until the 7th of August. And then I go to Crete to the Alunda Spa Resort Hotel, and I'll be there for another 3 weeks till the end of August. And you can find me online, www.katrinavalente.com. I'm on Instagram, Katrina Valente and the number 1, and Facebook, also just my name.
Thank you, Katrina. And will you be broadcasting with us while you're traveling?
Sure, why not?
All right. Fantastic. Well, you look absolutely stunning, and I'm really glad that we were able to have you share this really valuable information with our audience. So thank you.
You're very welcome. Anytime. My pleasure always.
All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your evening there,
Thank
and safe travels. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Thank you. Have a great
Thank you.
day.
You
Bye.
too. Bye for now. Thank you, everyone, for watching or listening. I really do appreciate it. Yesterday was a monumental day, celebrating 6 months since we launched on January the 10th. And I can't believe how much has happened, how we've grown. And I just want to thank each and every one of you who is watching or listening or booking in as guests or interested in being part of our team. If you would like to be, this is something new I'm offering, a guest co-host for one show, please go over to our website. This way you don't have to have any long-term contract. You don't have to have any obligations. You pay a fee for one time and you co-host with me one show. Go over to usaglobaltv.com/shop. And you'll find it there. Okay, we'll be coming back this afternoon. Our next show is Entrepreneur and so much more with my co-host, Justin Merigliani, followed by Talking Heads, which is also Justin Merigliani. So we'll see you again soon. Thank you.